All right, here we go. Week one, fantasy football. This is Fantasy Football Endgame. Big shout out to our in-game community that's been with us all off season long. Thank you guys so much. We keep growing. Of course, this is just the beginning. Join our Discord if you haven't already. We have a huge chat going on. Chris is always in there. By the way, I am Pierre Camus, and with me is Chris Mangano, the mastermind behind this channel and the Discord. He's always on there to help with his start to. Chris, it's finally here. It's almost like Christmas Day. I know people use that phrase a lot, but that's pretty much how it feels.
This is our Christmas Day, right? I mean, I don't know how it works in your family, but once I got to the age of 12 or 13, I didn't really get many Christmas gifts anymore. So Christmas Day kind of lost its luster. But this is our Christmas Day for sure. Couldn't be more excited about getting started here.
Yeah, it's already. Look, I got Red Zone. I know it's 2 hours, but the pregame is on. Ready, right? The either the chilies or you got the nachos ready. Right now we're getting ready to answer about 2 hours worth of questions for you to help you get ready for fantasy football, which of course is not the only reason you watch NFL, but right now it's our focus because that's what makes football even more fun. Those people who say, I don't play fantasy because it distracts from, the game and all I focus on is the team. That's what makes it fun, right? You have some, stake in every player in every game somehow, and that's what makes it more interesting. So anyways, we're getting ready to answer your start sit questions. So of course, the point is you're going to jump in here and leave a comment and ask us your questions. We'll do our best to answer them, and we will answer them the same way as if it was our team. That's what we do. You ask us the situation. Now, of course, also clarify. We need to know, is this PPR? Is it non-PPR, half PPR? That makes a big difference sometimes. And also let us know, is this maybe a 12-team league, 14-team, because that also makes a difference too. If you have any specific questions about a player that, let's say a Hill or a Moore or a Smith that might have multiple players, let us know who the player is. Be as specific as possible. That does help us so we're not guessing who you're talking about. Because you ask us, should I start Moore? The answer is I don't know. Which Moore are you talking about? Okay, so the more detail you give us, the better. We will try to get to all your questions, but of course, we got to get them in order. So if you put a question out there and we don't answer it, it doesn't mean we just ignored you or skipped you or, forgot about you. It's just you're in line and we have to do our best to get to everybody. All right. I think that takes care of all the little housekeeping items. Is there anything I'm forgetting there, Chris?
I think you covered it all. Great job. Good job. Very good.
All right. This is our first week of the regular season. We're excited. So first, what we always do before we get to the actual questions, I know you guys are ready to post your questions, is injury updates. Thankfully, this will be quick because it's, preseason. Not a lot of guys coming into the season injured, thankfully, and you already know about them if they do. So there's only a couple of kind of game time decisions or questionable guys. I know we're going to get a ton of Saquon Barkley questions. So what we know right now is he is clear to go. He had a questionable tag going into today. He is going to play. Like, that's not in doubt anymore. But we are hearing now, the latest news is that he will have limitations, which means he's not going to be 100% full go. He is going to play. That's not the question. It's how much he's going to play. His snap count says he's going to be used sparingly and eased in. What does that mean when it comes to actual touches? We don't know. And, Joe Judge is one of those coaches who loves to play it close to the vest just to mess with us. So we have no idea exactly what's going to happen, but he is going to play, just probably not a full, set of snaps like he usually would. Austin Eckler is going to play also. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He did practice Friday. He supposedly has looked good. So we're definitely less worried about him. But he might be more worried about the fact it's going against a tough Washington defense. Odell Beckham. I'm sure we get a lot of questions about OBJ. He is going to play too, but also might be limited. Supposedly a game time decision. We're hearing more on the positive side. Sounds like he is going to go. Do you want to start him in the first place? Well, that's definitely the question to ask. It depends on who else you got. And then Carson Wentz, if you are probably in a super flex or 2-quarterback league, or you played the very, very, very late QB game and he's your starter in a single quarterback league, he is playing. And the good news is Quentin Nelson also playing. There was a time where it looked like both those guys might miss multiple weeks, and they're ready to go for week one. So that's good news for the Colts offense as a whole. All right. Anybody else that you were considering? Again, there's not a lot of major injuries for major players. So I think it's time that we can get into the questions if we're ready. Chris, do we have any questions lined up already?
Yes, we do. We got the questions. They're coming in. This is awesome, guys. We appreciate it. So first question we got is from Kicks for Mike. Standard scoring. Let's go. Standard scoring. Everybody's favorite. All right. DeAndre Swift or Deontay Johnson, standard scoring. Who do you flex? 8-man league. I don't think that matters, but who do you
DeAndre
flex?
Swift or Deontay Johnson?
In a
Well,
standard scoring league?
okay, so typically in a standard scoring league, you prefer the running back, especially a guy like Swift who's very talented. But we didn't mention DeAndre Swift just now as far as the injury report. He is going to play. Ignore all that other stuff, the rumors and all that, all that junk. But here's the problem. Number one, all training camp, he was limited. Number two, they still have Jamal Williams, who will be a factor, like it or not. And number three, going against the 49ers. It's not a good matchup for him. Deontay Johnson, you prefer him in PPR because that's his, his thing is target share, right? He's not this field stretcher who's going to get big chunks of yards. I still think I like Deontay Johnson just because I'm down on Swift this week and really this season in general. So, yeah, Swift could break out a big gain, but I just don't see a big game for him today. And I lean Deontay Johnson. He's definitely a safer play.
Yeah, I like Deontay Johnson too, even in a standard. I think that Bills Steelers game is going to be a really high scoring game. So I think he has a chance to score a touchdown, rack up plenty of yards. I would lean Deontay Johnson as well. Okay, then football from a different source. Okay. Should I still start Saquon as my RB2 or Damian Harris? He didn't specify PPR or not, so I guess we'll just assume PPR. We can't get two standard scoring questions in a row to start our season, can we?
No, not while you're on watch. Okay, so here's the question. I mean, Chris, you've been banging the drum for Saquon all year long, saying he's a first round pick. He's going way too late, and he did for a lot of leagues. Okay, but week one is the question because the rest of the season he'll probably be fine. But we knew this might happen, so I'm not going to ask you to predict, like get the crystal ball and say, okay, what do you think? How many snaps is he going to take today? But you feel really good about drafting him all offseason. Do you feel good about starting him in week one?
Well, I only have him in two. Well, I have him in one dynasty league, our endgame dynasty league, and then I have him in my home league. I wasn't able to get him in any of my other redraft leagues, but I have a ton of them in best ball, so it's not like I was avoiding him. I'm starting him in both those leagues, if that helps you with anything. I do like Damian Harris this week. He is in a good spot. He's definitely safer than Saquon this week, but Saquon has way more upside. And here's the thing. They didn't say he's only going to play X amount of snaps or he's only going to touch the ball X amount of times. They said they're not counting the snaps. They're not worried about they're not counting how many touches he gets. They're just going to, not try to give him too much. Well, that's easy to say 2 hours before kickoff Sunday morning. When you're in the heat of battle and Booker and Brightwell aren't doing anything, and I think this is going to be a close game because it's not like the Broncos offense is going to put 30 on them or anything like that, right? This should be a low-scoring, ugly game. So they're going to be in this game. Is Joe Judge going to be willing to sit there and keep rolling out Booker and Brightwell and letting them run into walls when he's got a healthy Saquon standing on the sidelines? I'm not so sure about that. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day, everybody's like, wow, Saquon played 70% of the snaps or 75% of the snaps. So I feel pretty good about Saquon. I also feel good about Damian Harris. I think this is a good spot for Harris. That Dolphins run defense, not really their strength. So I like both these guys. So if you want to play it safe, I'm okay with Harris, but I'm okay rolling out Barkley too for the upside. Barkley for the upside.
Yeah, and so you brought up two good points. Is number one, the defense. So Giants going against Denver, who I think is going to be probably a top 5 defensive unit this year. So it's not a great matchup, but Bradley Chubb I think is out, and it's week one. Both offense and defense aren't in full game shape yet. But also the fact that the Giants, they're going to go to Barkley because they're going to need to, because frankly that pass offense isn't it, right? That's not it. Evan Ingram is out. Tony's missed a lot of time during the offseason, Kadarius Toney. And so I just think they're going to need Barkley, like you said. But also Barkley is a guy doesn't need 20 plus touches. He is a guy who can take one to the house. So if he's 100% as far as health wise, like ready to go, which is what we're hearing, he's ready to go. They're just not going to give him 100% full workload because they don't want to push him, right? They just don't want to risk it, which is ridiculous because it's the regular season. You need him to win the games. But I mean, if he's good to go, he's good to go, which means he doesn't need to get a ton of touches. I would still start him. I'm a huge Damien Harris fan, way more so than you, Chris. You know that. But you like Harris this week. I like Harris, but also Dolphins. That's not a pushover matchup defensively. So if it's me, I'm starting Barkley just because his upside is always massive.
All right, there you go. I'm sure we'll get plenty more Barkley questions. All right, Browns fan 32 asks another Deontay Johnson question. Am I the only one who thinks Deontay Johnson is an absolute stud that has to be started every week? I guess so. All right, Deontay Johnson or T. Higgins in half PPR?
Well, I wonder if we'll differ here because you're a huge Deontay Johnson fan. I know Deontay's the wide receiver one there in Pittsburgh, but I'm all over Higgins this year. I've had him as my one of my breakout receivers. And this matchup is, I mean, let's face it, Vikings is still cupcakes here on defense. I know maybe their front will be a little bit better if Danielle Hunter's there all year. And, you know, they made some minor adjustments, but not in the secondary. So I'm starting T. Higgins no matter what. I have him as my wide receiver 16, honestly.
I've been talking up Deontay Johnson all off season. I think this is going to be a shootout. I'm starting Deontay. They're both great starts. Like they're both probably going to have great games, but I lean Deontay Johnson. All right, Darren Lowry. I don't know if this question is real, I feel bad for you, man, but Odell or Randall Cobb? Did not think we would get a Randall Cobb question today. I got to be honest. I didn't think that was coming.
Look, I get the whole thing of Cobb and Rodgers, but look, even the last couple of years Cobb was in Green Bay before he went to Houston. What was he doing? He wasn't doing a whole lot. So I know we remember the good old days, but recency, bias here is working opposite against you because look, Randall Cobb shouldn't be started, just period. I really don't think there's any Packers receiver you want to start right now because we don't know how the target share is going to shake out. Cobb will get a little bit of work. Amari Rodgers, probably not much early in the season. He could work himself into a role. Lazard kind of been disappointing. I expected better things from him and he just hasn't stood out. MVS will be the deep threat. Like he'll, make a play once in a while, but you don't want to start any Packers receiver other than Devontae Adams. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think you have to play Odell. He might be limited. He might not play many snaps, but he can always make a play with the ball in his hand. So I'm not starting Randall Cobb. No way. No chance.
Yeah. And it's not that I want to start Odell Beckham this week because I don't. I think we both we had him as a must sit, actually, I think. But I'm not playing Randall Cobb. Actually, I'm not rostering Randall Cobb as of right now.
Yeah.
Like the last year he was with Green Bay, 9 games, 383 yards. The year before that, 653 yards, 610 yards over mostly full season. That's not fantasy relevant. 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. He's just not getting you anything.
Yeah, exactly. All right, DH, what's up? He asks for his flex, Chris Carson, Damian Harris, or Corey Davis. I know we're going to get a lot of Corey Davis questions today. I'm going to assume PPR because it's not PPR. I'm just going to assume PPR. Yeah, don't forget, guys, when you ask questions, you got to let us know scoring because that's really important, especially when you're asking running back, wide receiver type questions.
Yeah, exactly. That one's a little close. I still go Carson. I know the matchup's a little tougher for him, but look, nobody really stood out as the RB2 in Seattle in the offseason. Penny looked like he might be ready to go, and now he's still, surprise, kind of limited by injury. Alex Collins, whatever, DJ Dallas, Travis Homer. So Carson's still the guy there. He's going to get most of the touches, even though it's not a great matchup because Indy's got a pretty good front seven. You want touches to be the focal point when you're focusing on which running back to take. So I still go Carson. I do like Harris, like we've talked about, but that's also not an easy matchup.
If it's PPR, I think I lean Corey Davis with Crowder out, Keenan Cole, a game time decision. I love Elijah Moore. I think he's going to be great, but this is his first NFL start. I got to think Corey Davis is going to get a huge target share in this game. I know there's risk with Zach Wilson. I do really like Chris Carson too. But in PPR, I think I would just give Corey Davis the slight edge there for me personally. So I guess that didn't help you out.
Yeah, we don't know what to see for what to expect from Zach Wilson, right? It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how he performs. It's not a tough, Carolina defense they're going against.
No.
But is Corey Davis his favorite guy? Is it gonna be Elijah Moore, the rookie, who I love? But I mean, does that mean that Zach Wilson's gonna love him? So that'll be interesting to watch. So Davis is a little more boom bust of an option there. But absolutely, if he hits on a big play, then yeah, Corey Davis is the guy. I'm a Carson fan. What can I say?
All right, Matt. What's up, Matt? Do I start Judy? It's full PPR. Do I start Judy, Laviska Shenault, Cortland Sutton, or Corey Davis?
Okay, so one of those guys. Well, that means you got some good options, right? If those are on your bench.
Exactly. You're probably gonna have a lot of points on your bench regardless, because a couple of those guys will probably, at least two of those guys will probably have great games. So.
Okay, so we're not worried about Cortland Sutton as far as being a full go. He's fine.
Yeah,
he looks fine. Who would be the choice? Let me ask you this before we get to the decision between all four of those guys. Judy or Sutton, who do you like better in week one?
Oh, I'm always going to pick Sutton just because I like what he can do. I like the fact that I think he has a better chance to score a touchdown week in and week out because he's that big body in the red zone. I like the fact that he's probably going to get more yards than Jerry Jeudy. So I'm always going to lean Sutton in that question. But I do like Jeudy.
That was a test. That was a test and you passed. Now, I do tend to agree with that. I'm going to go Visca just because I do think he's going to be the most targeted receiver in Jacksonville, and they're playing Houston. I think going forward, you're probably going to wind up leaning Sutton or Jeudy. But I think this week you have to. I mean, especially the fact Etienne is out. DJ Chark was limited a lot of the preseason. Visca's going to have kind of that Debo-esque role where he's going to get a lot of short passes, a lot of slants. And I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to lean on him, kind of like he did in the preseason a lot. So just this matchup, you have to like Visca. So I'm going to give him the edge. I have him ranked slightly higher than the Broncos. And then Corey Davis, again, kind of that boom bust. He could make a big play, but I'd rather go with a guy I feel like I know is going to get targeted more.
Yeah, I got to agree. It's Laviska for me in this matchup against Houston. I mean, it's hard to bench anybody going against the Texans. All right, Marquise Barrett. What's up? 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex league. So your standard settings. Didn't say scoring. Ridley Jefferson at wide receiver, yes. Zeke Sanders at running back. Well, he already played Zeke. Who should I flex? Okay, we're gonna get this question. We're gonna get Allen Robinson a lot, I'm guessing. Allen Robinson, Myles Gaskin, or Mike Davis. Who do you flex?
Look, okay, I know the Allen Robinson matchup is terrible, right? Going against the Rams were actually the best pass defense last year, and Jalen Ramsey, not a shadow situation.
Yes.
But still, he's going to get a lot of Jalen Ramsey, and that's not good. And even if he doesn't get Jalen Ramsey, the rest of the Rams secondary is also good. I just have a hard time benching Allen Robinson, period, especially for a running back who isn't a stud running back. Look, I like Gaskin, obviously. Can I guarantee he's going to be, top 15, top 20 running back this week? No, because, it's not a cake matchup for them with the Patriots defense. Mike Davis, the thing is, you got to like Mike Davis this week because they basically got rid of every other running back other than Mike Davis, and then they signed Wayne Gallman. Well, he's been there a week. He's probably not going to get a lot of action. So it's going to be a lot of Mike Davis, I think, this week. And I've been saying this too in the start sits and all our rankings and all those other videos that you guys hopefully watched. I think that matchup, the Falcons, the Eagles, all right, it's going to be kind of an ugly high scoring game, meaning there's going to be a lot of points on the board, not because both offenses are going to be clicking so well, just because I think both defenses are going to be pretty bad. I think there's going to be a lot of points on the board. So I kind of like Mike Davis, and I just don't know. I would have personally a hard time keeping Robinson on my bench, because especially if you figure the Rams are going to be winning, the Bears are going to be passing, and Allen Robinson is going to be targeted a ton.
Yeah, I can't bench Allen Robinson. I just can't do it. I know it's a tough matchup against Jalen Ramsey. I mean, Did we bench DK Metcalf last year when he played the Rams? Did we bench, I don't even know, DeAndre Hopkins when they played the Rams? Like, there's just certain guys you just got to like bite the bullet and say, you know what? This guy is so good. He can overcome this. I know DK Metcalf had 2 bad games against the Rams, but Allen Robinson, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I just cannot bench him. And like you said, I do think the Rams are going to be way ahead. I think Dalton's going to have to throw the ball 35 times in this game. And Allen Robinson's going to get a huge chunk of those. And Darnell Mooney dealing with a back injury, even though he's going to play, we don't know if he's going to be limited or what. So Allen Robinson could be looking at 15 targets in this game, no joke. So even if he only catches 7 of them or 8 of them, you're going to feel pretty good, assuming it's PPR. All right.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because he is the receiving core of the Bears. Like, that's it. So I do think he's going to get 10 plus targets. So man, even though I kind of have a feeling Mike Davis could outscore him, I can't bench Allen Robinson.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully I pronounced this right. It's back to the season of trying to pronounce names and hopefully not butchering it. If I do, I apologize. Your Ruham Quam, half PPR, Darrell Henderson or Robbie Anderson.
I'm not a Darrell Henderson fan. If you've been watching throughout the preseason, especially our mocks, you know that. I think it's obvious the Rams aren't huge Darrell Henderson fans because they keep trying to replace him or at least get somebody alongside him. So yeah, I'm not stoked about Darrell Henderson this week or any week. So stick with Robbie Anderson, which is actually a really nice matchup going against his former team, the Jets.
I think half PPR gives Henderson the slight edge for me. But I'm admittedly super low on this Carolina passing game. I mean, Sam Darnold's ADOT in preseason was like 5. And I think his ADOT for his career is like 7. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Robbie Anderson might have 7 or 8 catches in this, but always get 50 yards, like, and it's half PPR. So I don't love Darrell Henderson this week, but maybe he falls in the end zone or something. So I'm going to lean Darrell Henderson only because it's half PPR. All right. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. I was just going to say the one advantage is this week, just because Sonny Michel is kind of a late addition, right? And so it might take some time before he really becomes part of the offense. So we might see more work from Darrell Henderson than usual. But that still doesn't change my opinion on him.
Okay. And don't forget, guys, if we're helping you out, if you're enjoying the show, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We can do this all year. Tons of great content. All right. DR Cuevas, PPR, Chark or Sutton? I like it. Just right to the point.
Yeah. For me, it's pretty easy. It's Sutton. We're not worried about Sutton's limitations. It's not a terrible matchup. I know you say, okay, the matchup, I literally just said Visca because they're playing Houston and you want to start your Jaguars. Chark's kind of the exception though, Chris. I know you agree with me just because we haven't heard good things about him basically all preseason. And I just think he's number 3 in the pecking order right now.
Yeah, I know you look at it's Houston, it's hard to bench him, but I like Sutton better this week as well. I'm a little worried that, Chark didn't have much training camp with Trevor Lawrence and he's going to kind of be the odd man out there. So, all right. Greg Chirinkin, Gaskin or Pittman, Michael Pittman in full PPR.
It's kind of a trust issue here with the Colts as far as Pittman, I think is going to be clearly the number 1 guy there. And that's good. I mean, Wentz is playing, but is he 100%? How is he going to look? How's he going to look in this offense? We don't really know because we didn't get to see him in the preseason. And so I'm kind of staying away from that Colts passing game until I see that Carson Wentz is actually somewhat better than he was last year. I know it's a different situation, but man, I have a hard time trusting him or any of the pass catchers there. So I got to lean Gaskin.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Gaskin, I think he's going to get a ton of touches, going to get catches. I do like Pittman. I think Pittman's going to have a nice season. I'm just not ready to roll him out there in week 1, especially when I have an option like Gaskin.
Right.
All right, DH again, full PPR. Chris Carson or Corey Davis?
A lot of Corey Davis. Okay. Chris Carson or Corey Davis? It's my guy and your guy. I'm a Carson fan. I like Carson. I think the matchup is not great, but it's not something that's going to scare me away. I already talked about Carson. I would stick with him. Again, I'm not against Corey Davis. It's just I want to see what the rapport is with him and Zach Wilson. I want to see how Zach Wilson looks against, NFL defenses for a full game. So I stick with a safer option with Carson.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Davis in PPR for the same reasons I said before. I just think he's going to have a huge target share in this one. If it was half or standard, I would definitely go more Chris Carson, but I like them both though. I think they're both going to have nice weeks this week. I like both of them. I just tend to in full PPR, I just tend to go with the wide receiver more when I think he's going to have a high target share. So that's all.
Well, look, and if the Seahawks had a guy that we know would be their third down back, right? They said, okay, DJ Dallas, he's the third down back, right? They had somebody who's like a James White or Gio or whatever. Then I say, okay, well, that might limit him, but they don't. Like Carson's going to get some receptions too. He's a capable receiving back. So that's the thing. They don't really have anybody who stood out who is going to take that role away from Carson. So that's why I don't mind even in full PPR. Carson, I think this week is a solid pick.
All right, Chase Lemaire, Swift, Pittman, or Hardman, half-point PPR.
Mecole Hardman. I'm not on the Mecole Hardman train, and I never will be. It's just he's a dice roll. He's a bye week fill-in. So for me, it's never going to be yes to Hardman. Maybe he'll prove me wrong this year, but I'm not going to be the one to take a chance on him. DeAndre Swift, kind of feel the same way. I mean, Chris, how good could you feel about Swift this week based on everything that we've heard coming into the preseason?
You can't feel great at all. He's in like a similar situation to, I guess like Barkley or any of these guys, Odell. We don't know how many snaps he's going to play. And unlike, Barkley, who we know when Barkley's out there, he is head and shoulders better than everybody else. The Lions really like Jamal Williams, and whatever you think of Jamal Williams doesn't matter because the Lions like him. And we know Jamal Williams is going to get plenty of run, at least this week. So, yeah, I think I'm leaning Pittman here. I wish it was full PPR. I'd feel better about him. But even in half PPR, I think I'm leaning Pittman.
Yeah, I think Swift's the kind of guy who maybe he scores a touchdown, which anybody could do that, with the right circumstance. Kyle Juszczyk on the other side, he could score a touchdown if they get in the red zone. I mean, so he could save his day with a touchdown, or maybe he pops off a big play, but I'm not counting on it. 49ers have a really, really good defense, by the way. And there's a good chance the Lions will be losing for most of this game, which means they're going to have to abandon the run at some point. So yeah, I just don't feel good about Swift.
All right, our first tight end question. Here we go. Jeff, half PPR, Jonnu Smith, or your boy, Mike Gesicki?
And I know you're going to go Smith because you picked him as one of your tight end starts, right?
Actually, okay. When we do our start sits, we're not picking like guys that we think you've drafted to be your number one guy. And I felt like Gesicki was a guy everybody drafted to be their week in, week out tight end. I actually do like Gesicki better this week. No Adam Shaheen, no Will Fuller. Devontae Parker didn't really start getting healthy till the end of camp. Jalen Waddle is a rookie making his first start. I think we're going to see a decent amount of Gesicki this week. I actually like him more than Jonnu Smith, especially in half PPR, because Gesicki might not have as many catches as Jonnu Smith this week, but he definitely has a chance, much better chance, in my opinion, to score a touchdown with Tua than Jonnu Smith does.
Yeah, and so generally speaking, it's interesting because I think a lot of people did view Gesicki as, at least a top 12 tight end and, guy you're going to start, probably one of your later tight end picks, but some of that you could start each week. I don't really view him that highly, and maybe it's a cynical Dolphin fan in me, but I know they're going to spread the ball around. But exactly what you said, Shaheen's out, Fuller, of course, still suspended that one game, Waddle's in his first NFL game. And so I do think this is a game where you do start Gesicki because he'll get a high target share. So in this particular game, yeah, I'm going Gesicki. That might change. We'll see how much, Jonnu Smith is involved versus Hunter Henry, that whole situation. But yeah, this week I do like Gesicki.
All right. Again, apologies if I mispronounce your name. Saket Moretti, Chenault, or Tyson Williams, half PPR.
I was wondering when we get a Tyson Williams question. Gotta like him this week, right? You gotta like him. Even posted something on our Instagram. By the way, we have an Instagram. Check us out. Not hard to find. It's Fantasy Football Endgame. But Tyson Williams, I have as a must start based on the running back situation that, it is what it is. I would start him over a guy like DeAndre Swift. I know some people think that's insane, but that's me. That's what I would do. Now, when you're talking about a receiver, somebody else, it's a different question, but I still think I like Williams just because he's the guy. They're not going to give the ball to anybody else. And this is a team that wants to run the ball, and the Raiders are not a tough run defense. So I know it sounds like a stretch, but I like Williams this week.
I think I agree with you, especially in half PPR. I think that gives him a little bit of an edge over Chenault. I know Chenault's in a great spot. If this was full PPR, I might just say, hey, play it a little safer and take Chenault, even though I don't know how safe that really is because it's his first game with Trevor Lawrence. But in half PPR, I think Williams has the edge in that scoring. All right, SJ, Callaway, Tyson Williams, or Galladay. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's no to Galladay. PPR. So for me, it's Callaway or Tyson Williams, and for me, it's easily Tyson Williams.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Callaway fan. Man, would have got him in more leagues and mocks if not for clapping cheeks. Our man there who sniped me many times. I know you're watching, Austin. Thank you. But yeah, I love Callaway, but not this week because he's going to get a good amount of Jair Alexander. And look, we still do kind of need to see what the regular season Jameis Winston to Marquez Callaway connection is going to be. It's easy to roll up huge points in the preseason. I would wait and see. So again, I'm big on Callaway, just not this week, and I'm big on Williams this week.
Yeah, for me, it's easily Williams. And we just got some breaking news. Zach Moss is inactive this week, you guys. Zach Moss inactive. I don't know where that came from. I hadn't heard of anything, but he's definitely inactive. I still would not play Singletary unless I had to because Steelers, one of the best run defenses in the NFL. We know that the Bills are a pass-happy team. If you're desperate, maybe, but I wouldn't. I'm not bumping Singletary up too much. Okay.
Yeah, and you had as a must sit, you had the Bills running backs. So I assume just because there's only one of them, that doesn't change your opinion, right? You still just think Bills running backs.
I mean, it certainly will help Singletary because now he's the only guy, so that will help. But he's going to be. I wish it was a better matchup for him. But we saw even last year when Moss was out or Singletary was out, neither one of these running backs is going to get 20 touches. That's just not what this Bills team is, right? They're going to throw the ball 60, 65% of the time. So, whoa, Trey Sermon inactive? We just got an update in our Discord that Trey Sermon's inactive, but we'll get to that. Let's get to some more questions. I'll see if I can find. Wow, yes, Trey Sermon inactive. Raheem Mostert now is like
absolute must start.
Absolute must start against Detroit. But let's get back to our questions. D12 of Eminem's band. Herbert or Darnold? Oh, come on. Herbert or Darnold? I know we're going to get a lot of Herbert questions, but come on, it's Herbert. The 1,000% Herbert. I don't care about the matchup. It's Herbert.
and also it's Darnold. Look, it's a single quarterback league. You're not starting Darnold over anybody. So yeah, that's an easy one. That's Herbert.
Okay. Pipe down. You pipe down. You guys think Chark will do anything today? I mean, he'll do something. Okay, so Chark or Darrell Henderson PPR flex play.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about this with Chark. And the other thing is, look, okay, so this is a game against Houston. We don't expect Houston to put up much of a fight. I think they will. I don't think they're going to get blown out by 20 points every game, but their defense is bad, right? If Jacksonville offense does roll and they have a lead, they're probably going to go more to guys like Chenault than guys like Chark. Chark is a little bit more of a field stretcher, right? He's going to have that longer depth of target as opposed to Chenault. It's going to be very short. I don't think they're going to need to take shots with Chark. So just everything we've heard going in, you know what I mean? That Urban Meyer wasn't impressed with him, and then he's been hurt. He put on muscle, and that's not a good thing for a receiver who relies on his speed. So I just don't think he's worth the risk this week.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to roll with Henderson as well there. All right, Josh DeRazio, Chark or OBJ? Odell.
Wow. Okay. So these are kind of both guys I feel the same about. I don't want to start him if I don't have to, but if you have to pick one of them, who do you pick? I would say in that case, I actually would say Chark, just because I'm more worried about OBJ physically than Chark.
Yeah, I'm worried. Again, I'm worried that Odell plays 20% of the snaps, 15%. This is his first game since the knee injury. He's had no contact. This isn't like Barkley where they're like, got him some contact, saw how he responded. He's had no contact through all of camp. I just don't see him playing a huge role today. So in this case, I'm going Chark. All right, Brooks 70-70, Ayuk or T. Higgins PPR? I think we're both pretty much in agreement here.
Love Higgins.
Yeah.
I love him this week. Ayuk, I guess he's a full go. The hamstring isn't really an issue. It was never a major issue, they said. And you do have to like Ayuk this week, and I do, but I just like Higgins more.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely Higgins. All right, Matt, again, what's up? Full PPR, Tyson Williams, Nyheim Hines, or James White. This is a no-brainer for me.
It's Williams. Look, not worried about him going into this week. Obviously, the team likes him. He's going to be the guy. He's going to get a ton of touches this week, and it's a good matchup. So you got to roll with Williams.
All right, AK, I'm glad he asked this question because now I have this decision. Full PPR, because we just heard the breaking news that Trey Sermon is inactive. So we got to think Mostert. I mean, who is it? Mostert, Hasty, and Elijah Mitchell. That's all they have today, right? That's going to be their running back crew.
Yeah.
So we got to think Mostert's going to get it. So PPR, pick one. Lockett, Mostert, or Saquon. So this is my tough decision too. Well, yeah, Lockett, Mostert, or Saquon, full PPR. I don't have the Lockett decision. I just have to decide Mostert or Saquon now.
Well, man, that's interesting. Honestly, with this, I would go with Mostert because he has that same kind of home run upside that Barkley does, but he's going to get more touches. And man, that matchup against Detroit, you know what I mean? If Saquon had an easier matchup and say, okay, I'm not worried about the touches, but yeah, Mostert, I already had him. If you guys saw the must start running back, I had him as a must start. And now I bump him up into my rankings even higher. He's a top 15 running back. So I go with Mostert.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's hard for me to get like all off season. Go back and watch our original mock drafts. And I was saying Saquon's going to be fine. Stop worrying about Saquon. And here we get to week one and it looks like he's fine. And now I can't bail on him now, can I? But I can't believe like this Mostert matchup against Detroit, knowing that he's going to get 15 plus touches for sure. And receptions. I think I have to go Mostert too, as much as that pains me. I think I have to say Mostert. He's got tons of upside and he's a little bit safer. So it hurts my heart, but I gotta say Mostert. Gotta say Mostert as well.
It's never personal, right? It's just business. You got to do
just business.
What's best for your team. Look, and I'm just saying this, by the way, so you guys know, Zach Moss, apparently a healthy inactive.
Wow.
So he's a scratch. So this is something else. This is not a last second injury because he's been fine all like there was no injury. So just inactive with Trey Sermon, trying to figure out what it is. I think it says healthy scratch also.
Wow.
That might just be more like a readiness thing because obviously being a rookie, and I think, okay, well, we're fine with Hasty, but Mitchell's a rookie too. So I don't know.
All right. Next question, Eric. Gage, Juju, or Mike Williams, full PPR?
Gage, Juju, or who? What was the last one?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. I like Gage, generally speaking, because we know he's the wide receiver too there. Already said I think that there could be some points on the board in that game. Mike Williams, he has that upside, but he also has a propensity to kind of just take the L and do nothing. And that's not a good matchup against Washington. So I would lean Gage over Williams. Juju's kind of stuck in the middle there. Like, I know I'm probably one of the few who still defend Juju to some point. That game could be high scoring too, but what is he going to do, with his targets? He's just, he's just not exciting. Like, he's okay to start, but I think I would take Gage at this point.
Yeah, this is actually a really tough one for me. These guys are kind of all in that same range of like, I don't know what to really expect. I do think that Eagles game is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be more high scoring than people think. So I think I'll also lean with Gage there. But this is really tough. That's a tough question for me, no doubt. All right, Brody Hill. Odell, man, a lot of Odell questions. I guess I predicted that though. Debo or Edmonds in full PPR?
I go with my boy Debo. Not touching OBJ if I don't have to. So look, it's a good matchup. I know Ayuk is going to be a full go, but still, Debo is one of those guys. It's telling as long as Jimmy G is the quarterback, which he still is for now, he's going to hit him with targets and then let Debo do his thing. I think this is a Debo week, so go Debo.
Yeah, I agree. It's Debo. And we just got news that Keelan Cole is out, so that helps Corey Davis a little bit. And also Elijah Moore, if you want to roll him out week 1, I don't know, like that, there's not really anybody else. So if you want to take the chance on Elijah Moore, the exciting rookie, he might get an opportunity in week 1 here. All right, Jorge Rodrigo made a trade. Okay, running this lineup, Lamar. Okay, doesn't really ask a question, just telling us. Hey, we got a super chat. We got a super chat. All right, let's get to the super chat question. See if I can figure out how to do this. Sorry, guys. All right, Crescent Cannon, thank you so much. Really appreciate supporting the channel. All right, should I consider a trade to give up Kyler Murray and Miles Sanders for Justin Herbert and George Kittle? His running backs are Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and Darrell Henderson. So trade Kyler Murray and Miles Sanders for Justin Herbert and George Kittle.
Well, for me, that's surprisingly easy. I've been down on Sanders, all preseason. That's not going to change yet. I'm probably bigger on Herbert than a lot of people. So I know Murray's still the better fantasy quarterback, but I don't think there's a wide gap there. And you can get a guy like Kittle to lock down tight end. That's really valuable, a lot more valuable than RB2 anyways, especially Miles Sanders, who I expect to kind of flop this year. So I'm taking Herbert Kittle for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I know Kyler Murray has that crazy upside, but I think Herbert's going to be great this year. And I know we're both really down on Miles Sanders. Love Kittle. Sounds like your running back room is already stacked. So I agree. I think you can afford to give up Sanders. I like that trade for you. Take the Kittle side for sure. And again, appreciate you supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. And since it happened, I guess I'll throw it out there, guys. Yeah, if anybody wants to drop super chat, we'd appreciate it. It helps the channel out, helps us out, and we will make sure to answer your question right away. But let's move on. Dylan Stringer asks, Robbie Anderson or Myles Gaskin? He already has DJ Moore starting. Now, he didn't say the scoring settings, but, I guess we'll just assume PPR.
Okay, so assuming PPR, he already has who? Gaskin?
He already has DJ Moore starting. He's asking Robbie Anderson or Gaskin.
So does the fact that he has DJ Moore matter when starting Robbie Anderson? A little bit. But I don't think it matters for this question because you'd start Gaskin anyways.
Yeah, definitely Gaskin for me. All right, Machiavelli to Don. Wow. Burrow or Darnold? I mean, never Darnold for me.
Burrow or Darnold? Yeah, I don't think the answer is going to be Darnold on too many of these. I'm hoping this is a super flex 2-quarterback league. Like we don't hate Darnold, but we don't have him as a top 20 quarterback either. So yeah, if it's not a 2-quarterback or super flex league, it's not Darnold. So Burrow definitely. And it's a good matchup for Burrow against the Vikings. So
yeah, it's definitely Burrow. Okay, Matthew Corella, full PPR, Swift or Ayuk?
Well, PPR definitely makes it even easier, but it would still be Ayuk for me anyways.
Yeah, easily Ayuk. Bennett Campbell, Swift or Chenault? Standard scoring, though. Standard scoring.
Yeah, but still, I don't expect Swift to get a ton of carries. I don't expect him to make a ton of yardage out of it. And like I said, you're hoping for a touchdown. Chenault could easily score a touchdown too. So I'm still going Chenault.
Yeah, I'm still going Chenault as well. Okay, this one I'm not even going to ask you. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the answer, and then we're just going to move on. Corey Van Muyen, Corey Davis, or Keenan Allen. It's 1,000 times Keenan Allen. Let's just move on. Ryan Macklin. Here's an interesting one. Debo or Judy?
It's close. It's a little closer. I still go Debo. I feel good about him this week. Um, I think Judy will be fine, but again, we don't know exactly with Cortland Sutton and Teddy Bridgewater there and all that how it's going to work out. They have two good running backs still. Let's not forget that. So, um, yeah, I still will wait on Judy.
I'm going. This is tough for me actually. If Ayuk was out, I'd probably say Debo. And I do like Debo a lot. It's hard not to like any San Francisco 49er against Detroit.
Right.
I'm probably
I
still
feel
going
good about Debo this.
I'm still going to lean Debo. Yeah, I'm still going to lean Debo as well. I do like Judy, but we got to see how this shakes out with Teddy B for 1 week. And I think Debo, especially with Jimmy G, I think that helps Debo even more because he'll get more of those like bubble screens and end arounds and things like that. So, all right, Ed Tay. He needs one in half PPR. Odell, man, every other question's Odell. Odell, Jacoby Myers, or Elijah Moore, who just became more interesting. Half PPR.
Those are two interesting names that we haven't talked about yet. Jacoby Myers. I know some people are big on expecting this breakout. Look, maybe it'll happen. Like, I guess he is technically the wide receiver 1 there. We'll see how the connection with Mac Jones is. And then Elijah Moore. I'm huge on Elijah Moore. I've been all preseason. Is it going to happen in week 1? Well, if Crowder is out and Keelan Cole is out, so that does help his case. This week, I would probably lean more just because Myers going against the Dolphins. That's not an easy matchup. Look, it's still Mac Jones's first start. So there's a lot of risk there. I like Myers. Look, I'm fine with Myers. I'm not a Myers hater. But I don't know if I see this massive leap coming from him, right away. So I do like Elijah Moore. I think the connection will be fine there.
I think I have to lean Myers here. Maybe I'm falling into the Mac Jones Myers connection, but I
it could happen.
Elijah.
It's week 1. Although it's week 1 for
it's week 1 for a guy who's never played an NFL
quarterbacks.
snap and a quarterback who's never played an NFL snap. So to me, Myers just feels better. Look, I love Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore is going to have a great year this year. If you drafted Elijah Moore, do not drop Elijah Moore, even if he struggles early on, because he's a rookie and that's what rookies sometimes do. Jacoby Myers was good last year. He was great all through preseason. I think Aguilar's playing, but I know he's been really limited by an injury. I just think Myers is going to be Mac Jones's number 1 target. So for me, I'll take a chance on him. That's how I feel about it.
It's close. There's not a clear-cut guy who stands above the other.
I just don't know if I'm willing to put Elijah Moore in their first game. It is a great matchup, but I don't know if I'm quite that risky. And I'm the guy who took Cortland Sutton and Saquon Barkley in every draft this year because I didn't care about their ACL injuries. So I'm pretty risky.
You did. You're definitely not a guy who worries about injuries.
All right.
Speaking of injuries, by the way, let me just go through this because I'm kind of updating my rankings as we go. I see it says Wayne Gallman is out. So talk about Mike Davis getting a huge workload. He might literally get 100% of the touches in that backfield.
Wow.
Huge Mike Davis day could be in the works. Now they do have, if I recall correctly, Cordero Patterson, right? Yeah, he might kind of play running back. But still, it's going to be, I think, a big Mike Davis day.
All right. Again, apologies if I mispronounce your name. Carorico Ferrer. Really, I know I messed that up. So I'm sorry. My man. PPR, Tyson Williams or Gaskin in the flex. Ooh, there's a good one. Whew.
And if it's full PPR, then yeah, you got to go Gaskin. I like Williams, but Gaskin's going to get those receptions, and Williams probably not just because he can't catch the ball, because I'm sure he can. But Baltimore isn't a team that dumps it off to the running back. They just don't, which is why you should have no interest in picking up Le'Veon Bell, even if you do think he has anything left in the tank, which I don't. But that aside, it's close, but I lean Gaskin.
Yeah, I think Gaskin too. I think both are going to have good games though, but I agree. In full PPR, Gaskin's going to get more receptions. All right, Gangsta Boy YT. Yo, what's up, bro? What's up? I'm struggling to choose who to start, Marquez Callaway or Devonta Smith. I know this is no struggle for you.
Well, as much as I like Callaway, been on him, these last couple of weeks, like this is not a good week to start him. And I do like Devonta Smith. I do like this matchup. So to me, it's pretty easy this week. It's Smith.
Yeah, I agree. It's Smith. Now, here's might be a tougher one for you, or maybe not. NC Gonzo, Corey Davis, or Devonta Smith. Back to back Devonta Smith.
I still go Smith. I think obviously, Chris, you agree with me here. You believe in Jalen Hurts, right? Not worried about the quarterback situation there. Devontae Smith is the guy. He's the number one receiver in that offense. There's nobody else who's going to challenge him for that. He's looked good. There's no issues with him. He's healthy. He's going to be a full go. He's going to be targeted quite a bit. Atlanta's secondary still not good. So I feel like we could see a big play from Devontae Smith today.
Yeah, and I think, I'll. This one's really close for me. I'm gonna lean Davis. I'm just a sucker for that target share. But I think they're both going to be very good. And we got another super chat. Thank you, Logan Gibson. I think I might have missed it. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. Appreciate you supporting the channel. He needs 2 in full PPR: Edmonds, Barkley, and Eckler and Javonte. I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer, but let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, so we need 2 of those 4. Eckler's, you start Eckler. We're not worried about Eckler, right? Health-wise, he's fine. He's going. Eckler. Okay, so Eckler's definitely one. I love Javonte Williams. This is kind of like a Callaway situation, right? I love him. I had him ranked higher probably than most people. I drafted him in like 90% of my leagues. I love Javonte, but not this week because it's going to take time for him to work in. We've seen some of these rookies are inactive week 1 just because they're healthy scratches because they're going to have to work their way into the offense. Okay, so Javonte will play, but we don't know how much. So I can't put Javonte in there, especially over guys like Saquon. And then we had Eckler, Saquon, Javonte, and who's the 4th one?
Edmonds. I mean, it's Eckler and Barkley, right? It's Eckler and Barkley.
Yeah, Edmonds, he's okay, but you don't take the chance, that he's going to outproduce Saquon, even Saquon in limited touches, because Edmonds is just a committee back. You know what I mean? There's the timeshare there with the 2 of them, so it's got to be Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon and Eckler, which is who I had before the sermon news. Which I was going to start with confidence. Okay, Ethan Sellers, Hawkinson or Gesicki? Okay, this is.
I mean, you go the rest of the season, ask me any tight end versus Hawkinson, except for Kelsey, and I'm going to go Hawkinson. So it's easy, Hawkinson. Look, Gesicki is not a bad start, but you got to start Hawkinson each and every week.
All right. I feel like Philly D, what's up? Matt Ryan or Trevor Lawrence?
That's an interesting question. So I know what I said about Atlanta and that game, maybe kind of sloppy high scoring. I don't think Matt Ryan's a bad start at all this week. But Trevor Lawrence is playing the Texans. And look, I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to have a good season. I almost said monster. I'm not going to go that far. He's going to have a good season. You don't want to bench him against the Texans of all teams. I think you have to go with Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lawrence. I'm a little nervous about Matt Ryan this year. I want to see him 1 week without Julio. All right, Roberto, what's up, my man? Super chat. Appreciate it so much. Hey, my spicy dudes, what's up? I know Roberto did a lot of mock drafts with us this offseason. So his brother had Amari Cooper, so I'm assuming he played against Cooper. So pick one: David Montgomery, Mike Davis, Henderson, Corey Davis, or Ayuk. I'm going to assume full PPR. So I guess it really comes down to how do we feel about David Montgomery, Mike Davis, or Corey Davis?
Pick one out of those.
Yeah.
And you got some good choices. Look, what I just said, now I'm getting a little higher on Mike Davis. I think it was going to be a good week for him anyways, but with basically no other running back in the mix there, not too worried about Philly's defense. I like Mike Davis. Look, I actually like Ayuk probably next because he's going against Detroit and he has that big play capability, but I actually like Debo better this week. I would go with Mike Davis personally. I like Montgomery, but it is a tough matchup.
Yeah, I think out of that group, I like Mike Davis the best. Then he asks in his other league, Hines or Marvin Jones.
Hines or Marvin Jones? Hines he's kind of one of those guys. You like if you're in a 14-team league, you can flex him every week. Or if you have a bye week, he's not a guy that you necessarily start based on matchup or anything else, right? So he's kind of like a Chase Edmonds. He's safe, he's okay, but I always shoot for upside. That's just me. So Marvin Jones is my pick.
Yep, Marvin Jones. And then lastly, pick 2, Samuel. Well, it's gotta be Debo because Curtis is out. Samuel,
Yeah.
Hunt, or Robbie Anderson. Pick 2.
Well, it's the first 2 for me. I think I had those both of the must starts earlier. Kareem Hunt, I think, is in a good situation. Not worried about that matchup. I think it's actually good for him. He's going to get a lot of receptions. And then we've already talked about, the other. Robbie Anderson's fine. It's not a bad matchup for him, but I think DJ Moore's still the number 1 receiver there. And then again, Sam Darnold is he's okay.
Yeah, I agree. First 2. Thank you, Roberto, again for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Good to see you in here. Good luck today.
Yeah, and guys, for those who don't know, the super chat that gets you to the front of the line. Basically, we will go to those questions first. So I know we have a lot. We're just about 1 hour in, so we got some time left. Keep asking those questions. But again, Chris doing his best to go through them all. If we happen to miss a question, throw it in there again. If you want to make sure your question is seen, go to the super chat. That's what it's for, is that we see that first, and we will guarantee to answer that question.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, if we're helping you out, you're enjoying it, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. All right. Doza, Chenault or Corey Davis playing against Amari Cooper. So probably needs some upside here.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And, sometimes you don't generally want to take your opponent lineup into consideration. But sometimes you need to, right? If you need that upside. Or, we'll talk about this a lot more coming during the fantasy playoffs. Like, what do you need? Are you the 1 seed going in heavy as a favorite, or are you just scraping by and you need, right, that upside? You're an underdog. So knowing that you're already behind the 8 ball, yeah, you need the upside. Does Chenault have that huge upside? Not really. I mean, he's a good play this week, but is he going to give you that huge upside, right? That's kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah. Did you pick Chenault?
No, I'm saying Chenault. I'm saying that Chenault is a strong start this week, but do you think he's the best choice because he gives you that high upside that he needs if he's going against Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I like Chenault better regardless. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask between our Discord, which, by the way, guys, at the top of the comments, I have a pin to our free Discord server. You should get in there. Where game day is going to be awesome today. So much good discussion in there. So many smart people outside just Pierre and I. But anyways, yeah, Chenault for me. I love his upside this week against Houston. I like Corey Davis too, but I just feel like Chenault has more upside.
Yeah. And again, I'm not against Corey Davis. I know I keep picking other people, but I'm not. It's just I kind of think Elijah Moore is going to be the lead dog in that offense. Davis is fine, but he doesn't get my juices flowing.
All right. Hoff asks Miles. I think this is going to be an easy one for us, but Miles Sanders or Deontay Johnson full PPR?
Well, yeah, full PPR for sure. Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, definitely Deontay Johnson. Flex, Tyson, Odell, or Chark. It's pretty easy for me, but let's hear what you have to say.
Go with Tyson. I like him. Don't like OBJ. Chark is kind of that if you need a home run kind of thing. Like, you know what? If you're going against Amari Cooper and you hope that Chark makes a big play, he might, But yeah, I'm going Tyson Williams.
Yeah, me too. All right, Peters and Peters Z. I'm just going to say that because I'm going to have no chance on that last name. I apologize. I'm going to try to butcher that. Kirk Cousins or Trevor Lawrence?
That's an interesting question. I still go Lawrence just because I like Lawrence in general. I like him this week. I mean, you can't not like him. Cousins is not a bad pick, but Cousins also just kind of a blob pick, right? Cincinnati doesn't have a good defense. But for that reason, it could just be a Dalvin Cook game, right? They probably won't need to pass it a ton. So Cousins is not a bad start, but I'm still going Lawrence.
This is hard for me. It's just always hard for me personally to trust guys making their first NFL start, even one against the Texans, which I know is a great spot. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a great quarterback, but we saw Peyton Manning struggle his first year. Andrew Luck struggled his first year. I mean, it's really hard for a quarterback in his first year. And I'm not a big fan of Cousins because I just feel like he never has tons of upside, but I think in this matchup, it's good enough that I personally would start Cousins. I don't think I need to take the risk in my quarterback spot with Lawrence. I get that the matchup is great, but I just feel a little bit better about Cousins. But I think they're both going to have good games. DH, is Ramondre Stevens worth rostering? Yes, he's worth rostering, but definitely don't play him. Josh Howard, half PPR. Chase Edmonds, Tyson, or Gaskin? A lot of Tyson versus Gaskin questions.
Yeah, well,
Half
it's
PPR.
interesting. Those are guys we kind of don't know what to expect. So out of those three, if it's not full PPR, I'm not going Edmonds just because, again, that's what you're counting on, right? He's not a guy who's going to get goal line touches. Not a guy who's going to get a lot of carries. You're hoping for a lot of receptions. So half PPR, I'd rather have the other two. Now, Gaskin and Williams, look, Gaskin will get more catches. Williams probably get more carries. Who's in the better rushing offense? Oh, Baltimore. It would be Williams. Who has a better chance to score? Probably Williams, I would say. So even though I like Gaskin in general better, I think this week in a half PPR, I still actually lean Williams, which is tough for me to say.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think half PPR gives Williams the slight edge over Gaskin as well, but it's really close. I think they're both going to have fine games. Eugene Shepard, this should be an easy one. Odell or Devonta Smith?
It's definitely Devonta Smith.
Definitely Devonta Smith. We did that one. Paul Getz, I got a predicament here. I got two studs. That's not really a bad predicament. And two stud running backs and Barkley. Do I play it? Okay, so I guess his question is Barkley or Tyler Boyd in the flex. That's an interesting one.
That's interesting. And did he say PPR or no?
Didn't say.
Because if it was standard, it would easily be Barkley. I do like Tyler Boyd this week, and I think you guys probably saw that in our video. Do I like him better than Saquon? I mean, this is safety versus the risk of Barkley, how many touches he's going to get. So I would say if you already have studs and you're good to go, right? You're not too worried. You didn't go against a bunch of Bucks or Cowboys already. The safety of Boyd is probably fine. If you don't need the upside with Saquon. But again, it kind of depends on your matchup and the deepness of your league and all that.
Yeah, this is safety versus upside, like you said. I think Boyd is safe. If you got two stud running backs already, you probably don't need risk in your lineup because you probably have two running backs. I don't know who they are, but they're probably going to score a ton of points. So I might just play it safe this week with Boyd for your situation. I do think Barkley has more upside this week. But if you already have two stud running backs in your lineup, maybe just put Boyd in there and play it a little safer. Unless it's standard scoring, then definitely Barkley. All right, Jacob Ander, flex spot PPR, Sutton, Henderson, or Tyson?
Again, not going Henderson. Sticking to my guns there. Half PPR?
Yes, half PPR.
It's tough because I like Sutton, but it's still unclear what we're going to see there. I kind of just like Williams this week. So I would say in a half PPR, it's really close. It's really close for me. It kind of might depend too on what you need, but I know you're a Sutton fan. I'm sticking with Williams this week because I have a good feeling. Again, he is not going to have any competition for touches in the backfield. So.
Yeah, as much as I love Sutton, and I think Sutton's going to be a guy you're going to roll out every single week after this week, I do want to see that first game back from the knee injury. I'm not too worried that they're going to limit him, but they might. So I'll just play it a little safer with Tyson, who I do think has plenty of upside, even though he won't catch a bunch of passes in that rushing offense. I think he's got tons of, and against that Raiders defense, like, come on. He's gonna
it's a good matchup. And the thing is, going forward, like if you ask me next week about Gaskin versus Williams, it might be a different answer because Latavius Murray will be ready to play, right? He'll have been with the team more than like 48 hours. Maybe Le'Veon Bell is active, who knows? But if Williams doesn't do well today, he might lose that job to Murray, right? Who knows? But for right now, it's his job alone. He has a chance to impress. He looked good in the preseason. So I think this is where you take the chance. Yeah, it's a big risk, but that's what fantasy is about, right? You don't know what's going to happen today. You take a chance based on, what you've seen happen and the matchups. And it's a good chance for him to shine. And then it could be, I know everyone's always asked, who's this year's James Robinson? It's James Robinson because he's the only James Robinson. But who could be this guy's like surprise breakout running back? Maybe it's Tyson Williams, right? So we'll see.
All right, voice of reason, Jay Tatum. What's up, Jay Tatum? Good to see you. Good luck today. Chenault or David Montgomery full PPR?
The fact it's full PPR makes me lean Chenault. Like Montgomery, just hate this matchup for him. I think he's fine. I'm not saying that Montgomery's like a must sit. We don't have him that low, but Chenault is in a good spot. So let's stick with him.
I mean, people are freaked out about Allen Robinson against Ramsey. How come nobody's freaking out about David Montgomery versus this Rams front? Right? In a game where they're probably going to be playing from behind by a lot. Like this is not, I'm not feeling. So for me, this is easily Chenault, definitely. All right,
and
Yango.
This is a situation. Sorry, just real quick, because you're gonna get, guys, if you join our Discord, you join. We have different channels for everything: start, sit, trade, waiver wire, whatever. Game day discussion. Join it and talk about the games that are going on as they're happening. But we're gonna get trade questions in that Discord about the guys who flop in week 1. So Zeke Elliott, everyone's freaking out about. Some people will freak out about David Montgomery because they're going to say, oh, it was a fluke, right? Last year is just that he faced teams like the Jaguars and the Texans and all these bad defenses. And look what happened in week 1 if he flops this week. And you go out and you buy him low. Same thing with Zeke. It's going to be a bad matchup or whatever. That offense will be better when Justin Fields is on there. It's going to be better when they don't face the Rams. So I'm just saying that this might be a good chance to think ahead and buy low on guys like Montgomery if he doesn't have a good game this week.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Yango Maga, full PPR. Edmonds, Henderson, or Mostert? Well, now it's easy. Oh, you got to pick 2. So Mostert is definitely one of them now with Sermon out for sure. He was already one of them. So Edmonds or Henderson in full PPR. Pick one of
those. Edmonds or Henderson. It's close. I'm not crazy about either. I think I have Henderson just barely higher. I have him like 2 spots higher. So I'll go Henderson just because more touchdown upside.
Yeah, I like Henderson a little more. I'm just not really that high on Edmonds. I don't believe the whole lead back thing. I think it's going to be a committee there with him and Connor. So Henderson just by a little bit. And again, yeah, game script should really favor Henderson here. All right, Sajed. Thanks for doing the live show. Hey, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Couldn't do this live show if you guys weren't here. All right, yeah. Corey Davis, Wood. I'm going to assume Robert Woods. Is there another Wood I'm not thinking of? I can't think of any other Wood.
That I can think
I'm going to assume Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, or Chris Carson. Pick 2 for PPR. Well, definitely Robert Woods. Robert Woods is a must start this week.
If Woods is one of them, it's definitely Robert Woods. Yeah.
So pick one between Corey Davis, Brandon Cooks, and Chris Carson, which I think I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going. It's going to be Carson. Look, Cooks, yeah, maybe he'll be the number 1 guy there, but I'm not starting Texans if I don't have to. So, and then Corey Davis, like I said, he's fine, kind of a borderline wide receiver 3 for me, but doesn't have the upside of a lot of other guys. So I'm still sticking with Carson.
I still slightly lean Corey Davis in full PPR, but I don't mind Carson either. I think you're going to be okay either way. Carter Azar, I think we answered this one, or if we didn't, Darrell Henderson or Deontay Johnson. It's definitely Deontay Johnson. A kicker question. Oh my goodness, a kicker question. Yes. Jacob Ander, Tyler Bass, I think, is he the Buffalo kicker?
He is.
He's the Buffalo kicker. And Matt Gay, is he Detroit?
Rams.
Okay. See, I do not pay attention to kickers. I don't even know who these guys are. So I guess I have no idea. You take this one.
I have Tyler Bass as my 6th ranked kicker this week. Thank you. I have Matt Gay as number 12. So, I mean, I think it's going to be fairly high scoring. Buffalo is at home. I think the Pittsburgh defense is going to give some resistance, which is good, right? They're going to resist just enough that they might have to kick some field goals, but the short answer is Bass.
Okay. We did that one. Manny Alvarez. Well, now this is an easy decision, I think, but Mike Davis or Robbie Anderson in PPR?
Mike
Davis. Joe Bunning, Corey Davis, or Jacoby Myers, full PPR?
This is I'll go
Corey
Davis.
You can't be this low on Corey Davis.
No, I go Corey Davis. Well, I'm trying not to be too low on Jacoby Myers, right? Like I don't hate him. Again, I'm not against these guys. So, but yeah, we have to wait and see with Myers. So Corey Davis.
Roland Hussey, Chenault, or Brandon Cooks?
Chenault. You go with a better
Chenault.
team, better
Chenault
offense.
for sure. Jake Soto, Chark, or Marquez Callaway?
That's interesting. Both of them are just kind of home run plays, right? You're hoping for a big play. I think there's a better chance you get it from Chark. So
Yeah. I think, Callaway it's basically just Callaway, but going against Jared Alexander, I really worry about Callaway, but I also worry about Chark being limited, but it is a better matchup for Chark.
That's the thing. You go matchup or target share. We know Callaway's going to get more targets. That's almost a given. But how many is he going to get? I mean, this is a game I really think that New Orleans runs the ball, a ton, and it's just a Kamara game. It's going to be Kamara touching the ball 25, 30 times, I think, and we'll see a little bit of Tony Jones, and they'll go to the tight ends. Yeah, they'll force feed Callaway to some extent, but because they're force feeding him and there's really nobody else to draw attention away from him, he's going to get Jair Alexander. He's not going to have a lot of space to operate. And maybe I'm just not a Jameis Winston fan. Oh, wait, I'm not a Jameis Winston fan. So I can't go with Callaway this week, although I do like Callaway in general long term. I like him. I just don't like the offensive situation against, which is kind of an underrated defense.
Yeah. And then he asked Hunter Swift in the flex, which I think we both agree is easily Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
All right, we did that one. Let's see. Man, so many Corey Davis questions. Carlos Messias, Corey Davis, or Debo? Standard scoring. Well, that's definitely Debo for me.
Yeah, Debo still.
Especially in standard. Okay, here we go. L plus. Michael Pittman or Jalen Waddle?
Well, I hope Waddle has a big game, but I'm not counting on it. So I'm still going to sit him. In fact, I am sitting him. I have him in a dynasty league. I'm not even starting him. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I have high hopes. Like I said, I really wish the Dolphins would have made another pick, but that's for a different video. So yeah, I'm not going to Waddle this week.
Yeah, I like Pittman enough this week to not have to start Waddle right away. Let's see. We did that one. Chalk Talk. Deontay Johnson, Corey Davis, Devonta Smith, pick 2.
Do I have to answer again? So it's going to really, by the end of today, it's going to look like I hate Corey Davis. So I would pick the non-Corey Davis ones, not because I'm against him, just because I like the other two better.
I would go Johnson and Davis, but I also do really like Devonta Smith this week. So definitely Deontay Johnson is a must start. Then it's
Deontay Johnson's almost always a must start. I just feel like Devonta Smith's gonna have a big game. The Atlanta secondary is always vulnerable. This year's not gonna be any exception.
Yeah. All right, Josh Hitchcock, Henderson or Marquez Callaway, full PPR.
Full PPR. That's tough for me. Maybe I go Callaway in this situation just because I don't have that much faith in Henderson. And again, full PPR, maybe his target share is enough to get you by. I don't expect a big game from either one, but I might lean Callaway.
Yeah, I think Callaway can at least, with Jameis, he'll at least take some shots down the field with Callaway. And if Callaway can just hit on one of those, you're fine. And even if he catches 3 or 4 passes, you're probably fine. So I think, Callaway as well. Beats by Jumpman. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great morning. You too. Okay, we're not even going to ask you this one. It's Higgins, Odell, or Galladay for full PPR. It's obviously Higgins for us, both in agreement here. Okay. All right, Silas Taphorn, PPR, Jacobs or Damian Harris? Josh Jacobs or Damian Harris?
First Josh Jacobs question. I think we're kind of surprised, both of us, by how little people are worried about Josh Jacobs. A lot of times in our drafts, we see people take him as a running back too, like a high-end running back too. He's not going to get the volume he got last year. He's not going to be third in the league in carries and, with all that yardage. It's just not going to happen. Like, he's fine as a low-end RB2, maybe, or a flex play, but he's not going to do what he did last year. This is not a great matchup against Baltimore either, right? In fact, if I'm remembering, Chris, you had Jacobs as a must sit this week, didn't you?
Yeah, it's Baltimore. Come on. And Damien Harris, I think, is in a good spot this week. Neither one's going to catch any passes, so you can't. That is a deciding factor. Damien Harris against Dolphins, much better matchup. We know Damien Harris is at least going to get the bulk of the carries. We don't know about Josh Jacobs. And Damien Harris should have just as good a chance to score a touchdown as Josh Jacobs. So for me, it's definitely Damien Harris this week.
I think of it this way. I think somebody, if I remember, put it this way: Damien Harris and Josh Jacobs are kind of the same player. I mean, obviously both went to Alabama, but very similar style. It's just who's got the better offensive line. It's Damien Harris for sure. That is a good offensive line in New England. It's not that good an offensive line in Vegas. And who's going to get more of the target or the market share of carries? It's actually going to be Harris this year because I'm not worried about Ramondre Stevenson. Right, the team actually came out and said, or no, Bill Belichick said, there's other things besides just carrying the ball. Right, coaches actually care about pass protection. They care about whether you're running the assignment correctly, if you know the playbook, all that other stuff, work ethic. And they said basically he's not ready. And then there's a finger thing, but we're not going to see a lot of Ramondre Stevenson early in the year. We're going to see a lot of Damien Harris. So Damien Harris is pretty solid start. So definitely Harris over Jacobs, especially this week.
Yeah. All right. Sebastian Ekaford, probably mispronounced that because there's a J in there and I don't know how to pronounce that. So I'm sorry. He's got Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Marvin Jones, Deontay Johnson. I think he can only pick one of those.
Ouch. Only one?
Yeah.
I heard Cooper Kupp. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, Deontay Johnson's a solid start, but I think I'd rather have Kupp.
Yeah, I love Deontay Johnson, but this week Cooper Kupp, against the Bears secondary that's not very very good. Give me Cooper Kupp all day. All right, Justin Wang, Tyson or Kareem Hunt full PPR.
I feel like this is just a test to me because it's two of my must starts. I still go Hunt actually. Just because the floor is higher, right? I think it's a good matchup for Hunt specifically. He's on the better team. So I like them both, but I'll go with Hunt.
Yeah, I go Hunt here too. I think no matter what happens in this game, Hunt's going to be fine. Whether they're way behind or whether they're in the game, he'll be fine.
Right.
All right, Anton Montes, half PPR, Ayuk or Chenault?
That's close. Very close. Let me see where I put them. And guys, I'm checking, by the way, if I look and I'm missing things around, I'm checking my rankings. I do rankings on Fantasy Pros, one of the expert rankers there. So you want to know what my rankings are for each and every week or even for the draft season, go look. It's fantasypros.com. You can look for the experts and I'm on there. Chris doesn't like doing rankings. I've tried to get him on there. He just doesn't like, what, you're not a believer in the weekly rankings or what was the reason?
Yeah, I'm not really a believer and they're so tedious and yeah.
They are tedious. I can't disagree with you there. So, man, it's well. I think I have. Well, actually, I have Ayuk much lower than I thought I did. So, I guess that answers. It was Chenault or Ayuk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chenault.
Yeah, Chenault for me, especially with Jimmy G playing. I'm just a little worried about Ayuk, even though this is a great matchup for him. I just think they might only throw the ball 15 times, 20 times. All right. Bozo Bob Wart 333. Tyler Lockett or Miles Sanders in the flex? Well, for me, it's definitely Lockett.
Definitely Lockett.
Yeah. All right. Smooth Criminal Entertainer. Tyler Boyd or Cortland Sutton full PPR?
Ooh, that's close. Because I do like Boyd this week. I'm staring right at it because I was just looking at my wide receiver rankings. I have them 26 and 27. So it's kind of a pick 'em thing. I have Boyd just barely higher, but it's kind of a flip a coin thing for me. And it's whether you want the safety or the upside kind of thing.
Yeah, I would go Boyd here. Like I said, I'm giving Cortland Sutton 1 week to make sure he's 100% full go, playing a ton of snaps. Once I see that, I'm all in on Cortland Sutton. All right, TG Trey 6 full PPR. Would you stick with Eckler? Yes, because not only does it sound like he's okay, Joshua Kelly is an inactive today, and I just don't think if they were worried that Eckler might have to come out of the game or something, they would not have had Kelly as an inactive. That makes me feel even more confident about Eckler this week. So yes, definitely feel good about Eckler. All right.
Yeah, your boy Justin Jackson is somebody to look out for, right?
Eh. Eh. All
Just
right.
kidding. Actually, I'm on Larry Roundtree. I want to see how many snaps he gets. Justin Jackson is going to get hurt at some point, so I want to see if Roundtree can kind of
If you're gonna take a shot, at one of these running backs, it's Larry Roundtree. We already know Justin Jackson and Joshua Kelly aren't it. We saw that last year.
No, Kelly is not it.
Killa PvP. Terry or Ayuk, Terry McLaurin. I mean, come on, Terry McLaurin, 100,000%.
If it's Terry McLaurin, that's definitely Terry.
What other Terry is there? I can't think of any other Terry. And then should I bench Barkley for Gaskin? I wouldn't personally.
No, just because. I mean, if you need to play safe, then Gaskin. But again, Gaskin's not a guy that he's going to go off for 100 yards, multiple touchdowns. He's just not that kind of player. So in that case, I'd stick with Barkley.
Yeah, definitely Barkley for me. And then Luke McKilhenny, Corey Davis, or DJ Moore.
I like DJ Moore this week. I already said I still think he's number one guy there, so go with Moore.
After this week, Corey Davis is either going to be a must start or everybody's going to be like, wow, we were way too high on Corey Davis. We'll see what happens.
I'm curious. A lot of those games that people don't really care too much about outside of fantasy, I'm watching those more carefully. The games like with Detroit, and Carolina and the Jets. I really want to see who gets targeted the most in that Jets offense, right? What's the backfield look like in Detroit? The games that that's what makes fantasy so great, because at least I really care about the games that are going to be the worst games, but I'm going to watch them because I want to see how they break down.
Yeah. All right. Joshua Bennett, half point PPR, Deontay Johnson, Chenault, or Ayuk.
Deontay Johnson still.
Yeah, definitely. Max Nallman, Allen Robinson, or Odell. Come on. You're scared of Ramsey, but you're not scared that Odell might barely play? Definitely Allen Robinson. Barkley or Darrell Henderson? I think we both agree Barkley. Right? Yep. All right. Greetings from Germany. Glad you're here. Awesome. A Germany viewer. That's pretty cool. I think we did this one, OBJ or Sutton. Definitely OBJ. I mean, definitely Sutton. Definitely Sutton. Stop it. Do not play OBJ.
Wait, hold on. Now you're going too fast. It's definitely not OBJ.
FanDuel single game contest. You like Kamara over Adams? I mean, I like them both really a lot. I don't know how, man.
I go Kamara.
Yeah, I don't know. What is FanDuel scoring half PPR? I don't play FanDuel. I play DraftKings. Is it half PPR?
I can't play FanDuel. In Texas, they still don't have it. I do DraftKings only. So
I think it's half PPR in that case, Kamara. Devin Wild, Hunter Henry, or Jack Doyle? Wow.
Neither. Is that an option? None of the above. Hunter Henry. Jack Doyle, his time as a pass catching threat is pretty much over. I think Mo Ali Cox is going to be the main receiver at tight end there, and even the rookie Kylan Granson, I think he might carve out a role eventually. So Doyle is just he's not going to do it for you.
Yeah, definitely Hunter Henry. What beer should I don't know? I don't drink beer. Vernon Lewis.
Wait. What was it? What beer?
We do a beer question?
No. Okay. Put that in the Discord. Join the Discord.
I think he's in the. I think DH. I think you're in the Discord. Just post that in the Discord. Ask everybody else. I'm sure there's lots of beer drinkers in there. All right, Vernon Lewis, Darrell Henderson, or David Montgomery, full PPR.
That's interesting. I'm going to go David Montgomery, even though technically he has the tougher matchup, but he is still kind of the bell cow there. I don't think he's going to have a good game, but I don't think Darrell Henderson is either.
Yeah, definitely Montgomery. Ed Wagner, full PPR, Waddle, Elijah Moore, or Dillon.
AJ Dillon? You can't start AJ Dillon. I mean, you just can't. Yeah, he's there as a handcuff. He's not somebody you want to start. So I go Elijah Moore. I think he's going to be okay this week, and I think he's going to become the main receiver. I don't know that he is the number one receiver yet in New York. It's probably Corey Davis right now, but I do like Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I would go Elijah Moore there too. Here's an interesting one. Silas Taphorn, Eckler or Mostert?
I mean, I know we're all over Mostert, but you can't bench Eckler as long as he's the full go, which he is. I mean, he's gonna play, so you have to keep Eckler in there.
Yes. All right. Ivan Loan, Henderson, Swift, or Ayuk in the flex?
I'm avoiding the first two, so I'm going Ayuk.
Yeah, I agree. Ayuk. Team 9 Nick. Flex 1 PPR, Robbie Anderson, Corey Davis, Damian Harris, or Swift?
I'm ruling out Swift. Did you say full PPR?
Yes.
So that does, I mean, that knocks Harris down a little bit, right? Because we know he's not going to really catch passes. I mean, I like Harris the best of those three, but in full PPR, do you think that takes him out of the running? Probably not.
I mean, I already know my answer, but I know you're not going to pick this guy.
Well, let's hear it. You can go first.
Corey Davis, full PPR. Give me Corey Davis. I mean, Robbie Anderson, not feeling Robbie Anderson. Damian Harris in full PPR is kind of not feeling Swift. I got to roll with Corey Davis.
Yeah, it's tough. It's between Davis and Harris. I guess I mean, I like Harris this week, so it's hard for me to bench him for a guy who we don't really know exactly what his target share is going to be. But I guess the matchup, it's Carolina. It's probably not going to be too tough. So yeah, Corey Davis is probably the smarter pick.
All right, Nicholas Kayal, Tyson or Edmonds? Definitely in PPR. In PPR, I think I still go Tyson.
Yeah, you know what? We talk about this. You're going to go floor or ceiling with a guy like that. Why not shoot for the ceiling? See what he can do, right? Maybe he scores. Maybe he has a big game. Edmonds isn't going to win you your week, right? He's just not.
Yeah. All right, Navi Bagri, what's up, man? Remember you from last year. Welcome back. Standard scoring, Allen Robinson or Tyler Boyd?
Allen Robinson.
Yes.
Allen Robinson.
Definitely, especially in standard scoring. I like him. I think he has a better chance to get more yards and a touchdown than Tyler Boyd. All right,
you can't overthink. The matchups matter, but the matchup doesn't take a top 10 receiver and put him on your bench. And it doesn't elevate a guy who's outside the top 30 and make him a starter just because of that. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
DJ Chark has the best matchup possible. That doesn't mean you're automatically starting him. And Allen Robinson has probably the worst matchup possible. There's no way I'm starting Chark over Robinson, just as an example. So
yeah. All right, Mike Brzezinski, Kupp or Higgins in a full PPR?
Ooh, that's really tough. I have them neck and neck, I think, because again, Chicago is a good but not great defense, but their secondary got a little worse with lost Fuller, and it's not scary. They are susceptible. So I love Higgins this week. I like Kupp too. Man, that is really close. I have them neck and neck. I personally, and a lot of this is just because the whole Jamar Chase thing, we know Chase is going to be slow to be involved. I think they're going to have to pass a ton. So I like Higgins just a little bit better, although I think most people would probably go with Kupp.
Yeah, I was going to say this is easily Kupp for me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm too high on Higgins. I don't know.
I like Higgins, but Stafford, the Rams against the Bears, Cooper Kupp, clear number 2. I mean, I know Higgins probably number 1 this week, but I just got to go Kupp in that offense for me.
Yeah.
But I think, but again,
the safer play.
Yeah, should both have good games. All right, maybe finally you're going to say Corey Davis. Let's see. I think you will in this one. Chef N. Darrell Henderson or Corey Davis full PPR?
I'll tell you, before we started, I really did not anticipate this many Corey Davis questions, like at all. I did. I blame you because you talked him up all off season. So now everybody's intrigued. They're like, Corey Davis. I'm going Corey Davis.
Yay, we did it. We got him one. Okay, yeah, definitely Corey Davis here. All right, Logan McAlevey, Devonta Smith or Chase Edmonds?
Devonta Smith. Look, Devonta Smith could get you a huge gain. Chase Edmonds will get you 5 catches, 63 yards, and that's it. Like if he scores a touchdown, yay, but that's it.
Yeah, definitely Smith. All right, N Knox 22, full PPR, Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Jones, Hines, or Waddle.
Going to scratch the last two off. Waddle's too
Yeah.
risky. Hines is just okay. I'll go with Judy.
Yeah, I think I go with Jeudy here too. I do really like Marvin Jones, but I can't bench Jerry Jeudy. So Jeudy for me. And then we got Silas, Thielen or Eckler in the flex. Definitely Eckler. I like Thielen, but come on, you gotta roll out Eckler. He's a first rounder for a reason. Furious Eric, DeAndre Swift, Corey Davis, or Mike Davis start two.
Start two.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Corey Davis again. I'm going with Davis non-brothers because Corey Davis and Mike Davis, you have to start out of that group, and then I'll go with Corey Davis too.
Yeah, the two Davises for me as well. That's two in a row for you with Corey. Careful there. Lakeem Petaway, full PPR, needs two running backs and a flex between Saquon, Najee, Edwards-Helaire. I'm going to definitely say you got to start Najee and Edwards-Helaire this week, for me at least. Do you agree or no?
You're going to start Najee every single week going forward, like no matter what.
And then so his flex options would then be Saquon, Chase, Sutton, or Debo.
Jamar Chase?
Yes, Jamar Chase.
I'm going to say no to Jamar Chase. I'm going to say do I like Debo over Saquon? Yeah, probably this week I do, just because of the limitations for Saquon.
I still got to go with Saquon. I do really like Debo this week, but I just feel like Saquon, we're going to come out of the game there. We're like, oh, look, Saquon played 70% of the snaps, because they're not counting. They're not over on their sideline like how many snaps has he played. So even though I do like Debo, I'm going to risk it with my boy Saquon there. All right, let's see. All right, here we've gotten a lot of Herbert questions in the Discord. I don't understand it. Like, I know Washington is a tough defense, but they're not like they're going to completely, like, look at what Dak did against Tampa Bay, and everybody was freaking out about Dak. So Adam Weimer asked, Herbert or Zach Wilson?
Oh, God. I mean, come on. It's got to be Herbert. Like you said, it's not the 85 Bears. It's not like the 2000 Ravens. Well, they're good. They're a good defense, but it's not a shutdown. And, you bench your best quarterback. Look, Justin Herbert, you probably took him as a top 6 quarterback, so you're starting him.
Yeah, come on. Dak just put up 29 against the Bucks, and everybody was freaking out if they could start Dak Prescott. All right, Brandon Carver, Brandon Cooks, or Brandon Ayuk? The Brandon, battle of the Brandons. And Brandon asking the question. This is a Brandon question.
All right. Maybe he has a team of all Brandons, because
that'd be pretty cool.
That would be that wouldn't work for me. I don't think I would get any players roster.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd have any players.
It would have to be an IDP league where I got Pierre Desir as like my cornerback. But anyways, I'm going with Brandon Ayuk.
Yes, Ayuk for me as well. All right, some Brusky games. Having a tough time picking his wide receiver 2. Pittman, Myers, Corey Davis, of course, Robbie Anderson, Chase Claypool, or Marquez Callaway.
And we're picking one of those guys?
Picking only one of them.
Oh, all right. Well, you have quality options. That's the good news. Let's try to rule some people out then. I guess let's try that. So I heard Claypool, Callaway, Myers,
Claypool,
Davis.
Callaway, Corey Davis, Pittman, Myers, Robbie Anderson.
Man, you have a lot of wide receiver 3 types, but you got to pick one as wide receiver 2. Okay, not Myers. I don't think is better than any of those options. And I don't think I would start Robbie Anderson over guys like Davis or Claypool. I think I'm down generally versus the consensus on Claypool this year. Like, I think he's going to disappoint in general. But this week, he probably has the most upside compared to those guys, except for maybe Corey Davis. I would say not Callaway over any of those guys. Are you with me so far in those?
This for me is actually a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer for me.
I think it'd probably be Well, actually, I don't know. I think I might have Corey Davis over Claypool, if you believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just not big on Claypool in general, but I think Claypool is probably the higher upside play, and I always preach upside. So I guess Claypool.
Yeah, for me, it's
Yeah,
pretty easily Claypool, honestly. I think, but I'm really high on Claypool this year, and I think he's gonna have again. I think this is gonna be a high scoring game. I think Pittsburgh's gonna have to throw the ball a lot in this one, so I really like Claypool this week. So for me, it's definitely Claypool.
yeah,
All
I
right,
could be wrong, but again, like this year, I'm going to be more down on Claypool than most.
Heath Johnson, what's up? Good to see you. Juju, Claypool, Landry, or Pittman? So basically the same question we just had, and we both said Claypool over Pittman. I'm definitely Claypool over Juju. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. And then, yeah, so probably Claypool again.
All right. Gaskin and Tyson. I think we did this. If it's PPR, Gaskin. If it's standard, you could go Tyson probably there or half. I think we did that question already, right?
Seems
All
like
right.
it. We had a
Full
lot of similar questions.
Yeah, a lot of the same players, that's for sure. Full PPR, Boyd or Jacoby Myers?
Boyd for me, pretty easily.
Yeah, Boyd as well. Steven Westbrooks, who should I flex? Allen Robinson, not Kenny Galladay, not Darrell Henderson, or Michael Pittman. I mean, definitely Allen Robinson for me.
Definitely Allen Robinson.
I think we did that one. Okay, here we go. Bradley Ploskow, standard scoring. Needs two wide receivers between Chenault, Judy, Callaway, Pittman, or Waddle. For me, it's the first two.
Okay, say them again. Juju.
Chenault, no Juju. Chenault, Judy, Callaway, or Pittman, or Waddle. Yeah.
Chenault, Judy. I heard Juju. Chenault, Judy, Callaway, Pittman, or Waddle.
Yes.
Chenault for sure. Yeah, Judy too, because Callaway I'm a little down on and not starting Waddle this week. So yeah, the first two.
Yeah.
Like I just saw because I'm distracted. I'm seeing trying to again, guys, keep you guys filled on the news in case you're on here watching and you're not looking. So Jamal Williams is going to be the starter.
Jamal Williams
for the
starting.
Lions in
Jamal
week
Williams
one,
starting
with DeAndre Swift working on third downs.
Ooh.
So we've been telling you don't start DeAndre Swift. There's a reason, right? Okay, so you probably don't want to start either guy this week for sure. It's a tough matchup, but yeah, DeAndre Swift's not even the starting running back in Detroit.
All right. G Ratty, half point PPR, Juju or Boyd?
Boyd.
I agree. Jonathan Williams, Chark, Gage, Rager, Myers, half point PPR.
Rager. Can't start Rager. Look, maybe he'll do something this year, but I'm not counting on it. At least not this week. You can't start him. I like Gage. I don't dislike Myers, but yeah, I do like Gage a fair amount this week, so I'd go with him.
Yeah, I might almost take Chark for the upside and hope. I'm not super high on Gage either. It's close between those two. All right. Rocco, wow, we were really not going to get to all these questions. Sorry, guys. Tons of questions, which we appreciate.
Yeah,
right,
so just so you know, we got about 20 minutes right till kickoff. If you absolutely have an urgent question that you want answered, go ahead and join the super chat. We will check that first, so you can kind of skip the line. It's kind of like that fast pass at Disney.
There you go. It's like the fast pass.
I think that's a pretty good way to explain it. So yeah, go ahead and try using that feature and hopefully that helps. But we will do our best. We're going to try to roll through these. So I think it's time for like lightning round almost. So we're going to go through speed, less explanation and more answers.
Yeah. So guys, at this point, we're just going to tell you no explanation. So we're just going to get into it. All right. PPR, flex, Odell, Javonte Williams, or Parker?
I still can't start Odell, man. Parker, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Parker here. Gaskin or Tyson, we've done that one. Caesar Rangel, PPR League, DJ Moore or Kenny Galladay?
DJ Moore for sure.
Yeah, DJ Moore for sure. PPR League, Ayuk, Cup, or Allen Robinson?
Oh, they're good choices. Ayuk is still the lowest of those three, even though I think he could have a good week. Cup or Robinson? I still have Robinson higher.
Yeah, but I think Cup, if you want to play it safe, I'm okay with benching Allen Robinson for a guy like Cooper Cup, who I think also has lots of upside if you want to play it safe.
Right. If you're going to bench Robinson, it would have to be a guy like that. But
yeah. Okay. PPR, Gaskin, Carson, or Higgins?
full PPR?
Yes.
Gaskin, Carson, or Higgins? I'm going to go with Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins as well for me. All right. Herbert or Matt Ryan? Definitely Herbert. Don't think we need to do that one. Gaskin or Tyson? We've covered that a bunch of times. Let's move right on. Justin O'Connor, Singletary, Gaskin, Sanders, pick 2 in PPR.
Man, you can't do Singletary. The whole Zach Moss thing doesn't make Singletary's role that much bigger, and it doesn't make him that much better. So it's gonna be the other two.
Yeah, I agree. DJ Moore or Ayuk in PPR?
That's close, honestly. That's really close. Ayuk kind of has that home run ability, but I still have DJ Moore a little bit higher.
Yep, I agree. Galladay or Chenault? Not close for me. Chenault.
Chanel, don't start Galladay unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah. Mike Davis or Robbie Anderson in PPR? I think we both agree. Mike Davis. Let's see. Needs a flex, full PPR. Drake, Connor, Tyson, or Waddle? I think we both agree. Tyson.
Great question. But yeah, I think Tyson this week.
Half PPR, OBJ or Cooks? I think you got to go Cooks. I think this is a situation
Yeah,
where
there's
you
too
got to go
much
Cooks.
risk. Don't love Cooks this year, but actually it's not a terrible matchup for him this week. I'm not starting Texans if I don't have to, but yeah, I'm not starting OBJ.
Here's an interesting one. Frog Kermit, Chenault, Corey Davis, or Claypool, full PPR.
Frog Kermit, that's his like username. That's interesting. I think it would be Kermit Frog. I think Chenault for me.
Yeah, I still got to go Claypool. More trusted. We know what his quarterback is going to do. I mean, Chenault's matchup is incredible. It's really close between those two. I wish you could play them both. I think they both have tons of upside. I'm going to go
Claypool is
Claypool.
just more big play dependent, right? He's the guy kind of like Matt Gallup is using in Dallas. He's going to run the fly routes and the go routes. That accounted for most of his routes last year. That's what he did. He ran straight down the field, and Big Ben, who is not a good deep ball passer anymore, chucks it up there. And he had that big 3-touchdown game. And I'm not going to get on the soapbox about Claypool, but I think he's going to disappoint a lot of people this year. He'll make a big play here and there, but this is going to be Najee Harris's team now. So I'm okay with Deontay Johnson because he's going to get all those kind of throws that Big Ben can still make, and Juju to some extent. I think Claypool is the wide receiver 3 on that team.
Oh, I guess I'm just way lower on Juju than you are. All right. Brandon Ayuk or Robbie Anderson, half PPR?
Ayuk.
I agree. Woods, Jerry Jeudy, or Corey Davis, full PPR? Definitely Woods.
Woods.
Davis, Cup, Montgomery, full PPR? I mean, definitely Cup, right?
Cup, yeah.
We have covered Tyson and Gaskin. I think we've answered that question 1,000 times. Gaskin in full, otherwise Tyson. We did that. Let's see. Half PPR, Devonta Smith, LaVisca, or Damian Harris?
In half?
Yeah, half PPR.
That's interesting. That's actually a really interesting question. All three are kind of sneaky good options. And I kind of lean Chenault still, but I don't know if this is really close for me.
Yeah. In half PPR, I might give the edge to Damian Harris slightly, but it's close between him and Chenault, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this. I think we kind of both feel the same way. Give this slight edge to Chenault and Harris number 2.
All right. Deep League, Sonny Michel, Nico Collins, or Deontay Harris?
Well, that's a good question. I like these deep league questions because this is where the real players play. Nico Collins, I can't trust him first game as a rookie. I mean, look, he's not a bad option, but I think if you look at it, Deontay Harris is the number 2 receiver in New Orleans. I trust, as much as I don't like Jameis Winston, I trust him to get him the ball a little bit more, and they're going to have to probably pass a fair amount. So I think I like Deontay Harris out of those 3.
Yeah, I think Deontay Harris is sneaky this week with because he probably won't get matched up with Alexander very much. So I think he's a sneaky play.
Those of you who play GPPs like DraftKings, whatever, Deontay Harris, a great play.
Great play. All right. Full PPR, Gaskin or Henderson? I think we both agree Gaskin. Full PPR, Henderson or Gage?
Gage.
I think I agree. Okay. We're not doing a ranking. Gonna take too long. Sorry. All right. PPR, Devonta Smith or Chase Edmonds?
Go with the upside. I mean, Edmonds isn't bad this week, but again, I feel like Smith could have a big game. I'd rather take a chance on that.
Yeah, I agree. Tyson Williams, Damian Harris, or Pittman in full PPR?
I mean, full PPR devalues Williams a little bit. And I don't know. Pittman is going to be the number 1 guy there. I just don't know what to expect from that offense still. So I guess I'd still go Williams.
I'm going to go Pittman because full PPR. Although I think Williams is fine. If you want to play it a little safer, I think Williams is fine. All right. Hunt, Singletary, or Tyson?
Hunt.
I agree. We did that one. Let's see. Herbert or Cousins? Come on, man. It's Herbert. Let's see. Debo, I think we did that one. We keep in. Okay. Standard scoring: Odell, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown. Oh, man. Rare will be the time that we say yes to Marquise Brown. We're not saying yes to OBJ this week. The third choice was who?
Brandon Cooks or Mike Williams are the other choices.
It's tough for me to say Cooks over Williams based on everything I've been saying, but I think this week, yeah, maybe Cooks over Williams. It's hard to trust Mike Williams this week.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, here we go. PPR, Henderson or Chase Edmonds? A lot of Henderson questions too. Henderson or Chase Edmonds, PPR?
And that's close. For me, they're both kind of blah, but I guess I will give the slight edge to Darrell Henderson. Look, I think we'll still see him get the lion's share of carries there for that backfield and touches just in general. He's not a great pass catcher, but at least he can do it. Edmonds is not going to get very many carries because James Conner is going to be the lead guy. It's going to be a very strict split. Conner early downs, Edmonds passing downs. So that limits him. He's kind of like Nyheim Hines.
Yeah. All right. Luch, Hooper, or Jonnu Smith full PPR?
You know, I think Hooper is kind of being underrated this year. I like Hooper as a sneaky value at tight end, but I do think Smith is going to get more targets. The fact, though, that, OBJ is limited and they're going to have to pass a lot against the Chiefs, Hooper becomes more interesting. So this is really, really close, but I'm going to give the edge to Jonnu Smith because I'm trusting you, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Hooper is undervalued, but this week I like Jonnu a little more. But don't sleep on Austin Hooper this year. Okay. Who should I pick for my running back 2 flex spot? So I guess he needs a running back and a flex between Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift, Chase Edmonds, Corey Davis. I don't know the scoring settings here, but I'll just say for me, it's Henderson and Davis. Henderson, RB2, Davis, a flex. That's what I would do.
That's exactly what I would do. I'm going once again with Corey Davis for the 5th time now.
All right. Interesting one here. With Trey Sermon out, would you start Mostert over Mixon? Ooh.
I mean, would I start Mostert? Yes, but not over a guy like Mixon. There's no way.
Maybe I'm just a sucker for Mostert, but I might. I mean, I know Mixon's going to get more touches, but dude, against that offensive line, that Vikings front, it's not bad.
Man,
that's actually close.
If it was a worse matchup for Mixon, then maybe. I do feel like Mixon could be kind of a regular top 10 running back. I think he's kind of one of those guys you don't want to bench unless you really have to.
All right, so we just got word real quick. Tevin Coleman will get the start in a hot hand style running back rotation. I expect a lot of Ty Johnson too. So we haven't really got any of those questions, but just in case.
Yep.
Thielen, Lockett, or Callaway in full PPR?
Thielen, Lockett, or Callaway? Well, not Callaway. I'm going with Thielen.
Yeah, it's close between him and Lockett for me. That Colts secondary is really banged up. But I will go.
Yeah, the Bengals secondary
Thielen.
is just bad.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Thielen. All right, we got 10 minutes here going super rapid fire. Tyson Williams, Damian Harris, or Juju full PPR?
Yeah, look, full PPR does put Juju in the conversation, but no. So I'll, man, yeah, I'll stick with Williams.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Williams as well. Pick 2: Callaway, Chenault, Melvin Gordon, Jalen Waddle. Well, definitely Chenault. For me, the other one's tough.
Same again.
So I think we're both in agreement, Chenault, and then Callaway, Melvin Gordon, or Jalen Waddle. Standard scoring, though. Standard scoring. So Melvin Gordon for me. Chenault and
I'm
Gordon.
going with Melvin Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah. We did that one. Did that one. PPR, Judy or Boyd?
It was close. That is very close. I think I have Judy just a little bit higher.
Yeah, Judy for me. No, we don't have time for that question. Sorry. Edmonds, Cooks, Chenault. Okay, Edmonds, Cooks, or Chenault half PPR. I got Chenault.
Chenault.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Flex PPR, Allen Robinson or Mostert. Let's see how high we are on Mostert.
Man. Not high enough to put him in over Allen Robinson. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I still go Allen Robinson. All right, Carlos Gomez, Conklin or Everett, tight end, PPR.
It's Everett. I mean, I have zero faith in Chris Herndon. That's coming from a diehard Miami Hurricanes fan. But yeah, Conklin is just not going to get as much action as you think he will.
Yeah. All right. Waddle or Melvin Gordon?
Gordon.
Yeah, I agree. We did that one. PPR, Judy or Elijah Moore or Callaway?
Judy.
Agree. Okay, here's a tough one. Zach Jones, half PPR, Mike Davis or Robert Woods?
I don't think you can take Robert Woods.
No.
I think Davis will have a good game. If it was standard, I would say maybe Davis. But yeah, Robert Woods, you got to keep in there.
Yeah, I think half PPR makes it a little closer, but I still got to roll Robert Woods in this matchup. Derek Carr or Joe Burrow?
Let me check real quick. Derek Carr, this is not a great spot for him. So I would stick with Burrow just because I like his chances against that soft secondary. Yeah, I got Burrow higher.
Yeah, Burrow for me. Allen Robinson or Ayuk. I think we both agree Allen Robinson. We're not benching him for Ayuk. We're not doing that one. Debo or Sutton in PPR? Debo or Sutton?
Again, very close. I think Debo's the safer pick. Stick with Debo.
Yeah, just this week though. All right, Lockett or Tyson Williams in PPR?
It's full PPR. Yeah, I do think you have to go Lockett.
Yeah, definitely Lockett. Elijah Moore, Jamar Chase, or Brian Edwards in full PPR?
I'm big on Brian Edwards as a sleeper, but I'm not starting him in week 1. So, and then Jamar Chase, not right now. Sorry, can't do it.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. All right, half PPR. Melvin Gordon, Brandon Ayuk, Myles Gaskin, Tyson Williams.
Half PPR. Ooh. Okay, so that's tough. Those are 4 decent options. Okay, same again. Gaskin.
Gaskin, Tyson, Melvin Gordon, and somebody else that I think we're not playing because I lost the question.
Probably Gaskin.
Yeah, for me, it's actually for me because it's half PPR. I think I'm going Tyson.
Still going Tyson. I feel like we've talked about that a lot. Yeah, if you're looking for the upside, Tyson, Gaskin's a safer pick. So I guess that depends on your team context.
Yes. Oh, I missed the super chat. Carl Anderson. Sorry, I missed it. Sorry, this is our first time doing this, guys. I don't know why it didn't pop up. I thought it popped up at the top. Elijah Moore or Tyson Williams?
Do we know if it's PPR?
No, but I think I'm rolling Tyson either way.
I think I'm rolling Tyson no matter what. Yeah, because look, I love Elijah Moore, but just don't know exactly what his target share is going to look like. He could have a solid game, but Tyson could have a big game. He really could, just based on this week. That answer will probably change as the season goes on, but right now in week 1, I'd say roll the dice with Williams and see what happens.
Yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss another super chat because I thought this thing posted him at the top and it was earlier, but it didn't post that one. Make sure
we got about 3 minutes to kick off, guys. So last chance.
I'm gonna grab some. Try to grab some for guys we haven't talked about yet because we talked about the same guys over and over.
Yeah.
Which it's all the same guys over and over. Okay, here we go. Jamal Williams said to start. Do I start Jamal Williams against 49ers or Tyson in a standard scoring league?
You got to go Tyson, especially in standard. In PPR, that might favor Williams because he will catch passes, but Swift is still there. Even though you don't want to start Swift, he's going to be a factor. Tyson has no competition really right now, so it's Williams.
Yeah, especially a way better matchup. All right, here we go. Russell Wilson or Jalen Hurts?
Oh man, you're going to answer this one first. Let's test your faith.
It's Russell Wilson. Indianapolis secondary is beat the heck. They don't have anybody. I love Jalen Hurts, but I mean, come on, it's Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I like Hurts. I like the matchup, but you don't bench a guy like Wilson for him.
All right, let's do a defense one. Miami, Minnesota, or Green Bay?
I have no faith in Minnesota's defense, so I'm going to eliminate them. Green Bay does definitely have a chance for some turnovers with Winston, but so does Miami because they're going against a rookie Mac Jones. I'm actually going to go with Green Bay.
Well, here's why you should go with Green Bay, and I do like Miami this week because Green Bay gets Detroit next week. So if you pick up Green Bay, you can play them this week and next week. You don't have to worry about the matchup next week. So just grab Green Bay and set them in your lineup for 2 weeks. All right, David Montgomery or Miles Sanders?
I'm not going to pick Sanders. Sorry. I think this might be one of those games where he rips off like a 50-yard touchdown run. It could happen, but I just think the touches are going in Montgomery's favor. So I'm sticking with Montgomery.
I'm trying. I mean, all the questions are about the same people. It's like, Ayuk, Corey Davis, Tyson Williams. Trying to find one in here where people we haven't talked about, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it because everybody's asking this. Okay, here we go. Half PPR, Hardman, McKissick, Chark, or Connor?
Oh, I don't think we've talked about any of those guys except for Chark. I'm not too interested in McKissick. I don't think he's going to do what he did last year. I think you probably agree with me on that, right? We don't start McKissick this week.
No.
Chark has the best upside out of those guys, I think. I'm not sold on Connor this year either because he's not going to get any catches. He's going to be pretty touchdown dependent. It's not a great matchup either, so I'd go Chark.
Yeah, I think Chark has the most upside there. Let's see. We'll do one more real quick here. Barkley or Edmonds? Barkley. Okay, here we go. Half PPR, Swift, Melvin Gordon, or Edmonds? Last question. Half PPR.
Easily Gordon for me.
Yeah, easily Gordon. All right, guys. Appreciate it. I know we didn't get to all the questions. But appreciate you guys being here, of course. And we're gonna have a big announcement this week. We're gonna actually just to give you guys a heads up, we're gonna be changing this. Our free live show is gonna move to Saturday because we thought this might happen to where we couldn't answer all your questions, and we do really want to answer all your questions. So our free live show is gonna move to Saturday night, and we're gonna have an exclusive members only private live show Sunday morning where we will guarantee every question does get answered. So watch our videos this week to learn more about that. But appreciate all you guys. Pierre, any last words?
Good luck in week 1. This is what we've been building up all off season for all those, of course, in-game community. We've been doing mock drafts 3 times a week, every week for months, sharpening the saw just for this moment. So hopefully now you make those smart decisions. Look, we wish you the best of luck. We're here to help you. We have leagues too, but we spend, I guarantee, 90% of our time focusing on your teams and your your decisions more so than ours, right? Our leagues are just to be competitive, but we've won leagues before. We don't need to prove anything. We want to help you guys win. So, and have
Absolutely.
fun, because you know what's fun about fantasy football? It's winning, and
Yes.
it's actually more fun helping you guys win. And we want to see you pull out those W's this week. So check out everything we have, all the videos. You're going to see waiver wires dropping starting tomorrow. We're going to tell you who to pick up and improve your team. We're going to give you the start sit decisions, who we feel must start, must sit, of course, some rankings, and look for those two live shows coming out each week now going forward.
Yes.
So that's it. Kickoff time. Anybody got those questions? Anything else you want to just chat during the game? Join the Discord. Link is in the description. All right.
All right, guys. Good luck.